Well, why don't we go ahead and start?
Okay. My name is Alita Serbog. I've lived in Newport for 15 years. And of those 15 years, I've lived in the condominium Laurelhurst Manor community, 55 and older residents. And we have residents that are, I would say, mostly in their 70s. We have residents that are in their 80s and 90s. The 90s couldn't even come with us because it's hard for them to get around. So I just want to point that out. We are all elderly widows. Most of us are widows, and we live on Social Security. Do you know what Social Security is? Make sure you know what Social Security is. It's limited income that comes to you once a month. Many of us are on auto pay. They just take the money right out of your account, which is handy for many of us. Some of us had credit in our accounts, and PUD took that money out without even asking us. We felt that was unfair. There's another injustice here. The people that live there the longest, of course, have the biggest bills. So there were people that moved out a couple of years ago, and new people moved in. And so the new people were billed a minimal amount. So there was some injustice there. Do you follow me here?
A little bit.
Yeah. And the bills were for from $400 to $600, you know, on a Social Security income. That's a lot of money for 1 month. And they did give us, PUD did give us a chance to get on a payment plan, but that really isn't the point. Many of us have, I want to point out that many of us have doctor appointments. There was more than one person had doctor appointments today. You think about a dialysis. You know, there's a lady in our community that goes to dialysis twice a week, and there was other ones that had medical appointments. And so PUD discovered they had an error in their billing of us in the condominiums in June of 2021. Okay? They installed meters January of 2022. Our biggest complaint is that this was the PUD's error.
Yeah.
And they are billing us the back payment of the billing error that they made. Follow me here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And they also told us they referenced a state law which gave PUD you know, to bill us. You reference that state law, which was kind of vague, and we felt unrelated to that, to our issue. Kind of looking mostly at you because I know you're mostly in charge of our.
I'm not in charge of some of those people.
Yeah.
I'm not that much. But I think, you know, we've had several discussions with customers over the last couple of weeks. So
I understand
I
that.
appreciate your comments.
Yeah, most of the residents have called in. I'm gonna introduce you to Dorothy
Okay.
Bernard. She is on the board of directors, and since our president couldn't be here today, she has some issues that she wants to bring up.
All right, Dorothy.
Okay, I don't know if you want me to read this letter or if you,
Just,
it has some questions that,
yeah, we usually, yeah, that might be better to answer those questions later, because we try not to get.
well, I will present a letter and I have a copy for my records, but that's from our president, Jim Jeffers.
Okay, I talked to Jim on the phone last week, quite a bit.
Okay, and he has reached out to Shelley Short.
Yeah.
With our concerns.
Yeah.
My objection is that I pay my bill annually.
Yeah.
And I budget to pay my bill annually. In the same mail that I received, the letter addressing this issue with the back billing, I also received my bill, which the $306 that I was in arrears was deducted from my credit balance. When I called in to object, I called twice. I was told when I make arrangements to pay this back billing amount, I would get credited the money that they have already taken out of my credit balance. So I strongly object to that practice.
Okay.
And I also, as Alita addressed, I want to know why the people who previously lived, or if they are being billed the same as we are. If they aren't being billed, why are we being billed?
Okay.
So-
Questions, and we'll get to that too.
Okay.
But I want to make sure we hear everybody out. So the question.
Okay.
So when you say previously building, you're talking about people that were there and then moved out?
Right, okay, yeah, because there are people that perhaps lived there during a 4-year period and moved out, so the people that are living there now got billed for a 2-year period. Are you going back to like assisted living to bill the one lady that I have in mind? Are you going to bill her for the back amount?
Yeah,
And-
and we'll discuss that, yeah.
Okay.
The primary, the state sets up, so.
So in this, to my left is Judy Mandigo. She's also a resident at the,
Thank you for being here.
Thanks, and I've been there since August of 2017, and I was billed $304 extra, and then I got a call on my telephone yesterday that I was past due, and I had called earlier when I first got the letter that I would make a $100 payment for 3 months, and that'd take care of it.
Okay,
But they called yesterday and said I was past due,
okay,
and I paid $100 so far. But when you get it settled, I want that $100 back.
yeah, when do we get that? Take a note on that one as far as,
Yep, I will look into my AC file and make sure the payment arrangement is entered in there.
yeah.
My name is Julie Brown, and my mother has lived at Laurelhurst for, I believe, at least 12 years. I have been down to PUD probably 3 times in regards to why her bill and Darlene's, they live right next to each other. They live on the bottom floors. Their power bills are astronomical. Hers runs approximately 200 in the winter time, and I have a standalone home that 1,200 square feet, somewhere in that area, that is less than hers is. But the thing that gets me is that letter came to my mom when I was on vacation, and I got back approximately the 5th of July, and it gave until the 12th of July to pay that, which is 6 days. And you guys are back to billing for 5 years. I worked for the public hospital district, and I've been there for 31 years. And if we make a billing error of that nature, we don't pay for it. The patient does not pay for it. So I am not understanding this at all. It's, I'm thinking possibly the reason that they got new meters back in June of 2021 is the fact that I had been complaining about her bill and that her meter was just spinning, you know, and why did it take a year from that 2021 until now to get these bills? You know, that's, I don't understand, and I don't feel that we should be held responsible for your error.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna stand over here so these guys don't have to twist around. My name is Sophia Surrender, and I've been living at the Laurelhurst Manor Complex since 2014. I'm probably one of the few people there who still works. So I work at the Home Depot in North Spokane, so I traverse to North Spokane every day that I work, and I work full-time. As you know, and you're probably all suffering from the same thing, gas prices, food prices, prices of clothing, prices of everything has gone up dramatically. I have a very economical car. I get 41 and a half miles to the gallon if I drive 55 and a 60 mile an hour limit. So if you see a little Fiat puttering down the road, that's me. So even though I get that good of gas mileage, I used to fill up for $17. Now I fill up for $37. So it has really hurt us. And like they say, they're on a fixed income, even though I have an income from work, we're all suffering. And even if we have to pay this bill, which I think is incredulous, taking it all at once, as they were saying, is kind of mean-spirited. It should have been balanced out. I have my PUD bill balanced out throughout the year, and I have been paying $145 a month. It's going down to $125. And the reason why I pay so much is I have 2 parrots that require to keep warm in the winter. So what I want to say also is that I do think it was wrong, as the last person was saying, for you to bill us for a mistake that you made. And there may be something in the fine print that says we have to do it, but it shouldn't be done all at once if we have to do it. But first of all, we shouldn't have to do it. If I sell something to somebody online, they call in or whatever, I work in customer service, if they call in and I take an order and I make it for them and everything, I don't call them back 6 months later and tell them, hey, I made a mistake, I charged you the wrong thing, and I need $100 more. It's just not commerce. It's not good business. It's not customer service. I realize that you guys have us in a corner, because who else are we going to buy it from? So that is a bad situation. So I think this is really going to have to be dealt with seriously, compassionately, sensibly, and accurately. We will band together as we are now, and I hope you will hear our voice. We're at a bit of a disadvantage because we can't speak back again after you answer the questions, because that usually leads to more questions and more comments. But thank you for hearing us, and thank you for just being here for us. And PUD runs great most of the time. This is the only thing I've had an objection to. So just thank you for being a good company and for hearing us out today.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Yeah, just briefly, since we've had the nice discussion on the Laurelhurst situation, I guess I just want to clarify that on behalf of the staff and the commission, we don't like to make mistakes, and you know, we all take it very personal. And we certainly, if we had the authority, I can guarantee every single one of our staff and commissioners would gladly not have charged and would have balanced the equities and said, listen, this was our mistake, we need to eat it. Problem is, we don't have that legal authority. State law says we're a not-for-profit, and we have to reconcile the amounts consumed with the revenues that are collected. Otherwise, it's discriminatory rate making, meaning somebody else has to pay for that electricity once we can prove that it has been consumed, and we're obligated to go back 6 years. We know it's not fair. We don't agree with it. Our commission doesn't agree with it, but it's one of those things where per audit standards and state law, we're required to backbill. We also agree that you shouldn't have to pay all that back unexpectedly in one lump sum. We've trained all of our CSRs, our customer service department, that we want to be as flexible as we can to make sure we have billing arrangements, full opportunity to make it as affordable as possible. But I just want to say we're sorry. We understand that, we're not perfect and we make mistakes. There's one of those things it's complicated. Metering is very complicated. We have servicemen who are out in the field. They're devastated when they discover these things, and we want to make sure we get it right. And so that's that time lag between when it was initially discovered something might not be right on the way these were constructed. But we're going to bring a consultant in, make sure we fully understand what was the mistake, how can we make this as equitable as possible, and understand how much was consumed, and making sure that we can meet state law and state audit standards so we don't get penalized as part of our annual budget process, but then also trying to make sure we understand your concerns, and the affordability question is huge. We don't like sending out bills. We would gladly write this off as our mistake if we could. But I would encourage you, if mistakes have happened, if we've charged against your accounts, as you've noted, we'll be in contact and we can make sure we can work out those billing arrangements so we can get this squared up. But on behalf of the utility, we do apologize. These are not things where we like to nickel and dime our customers. We feel terrible about these happenings. Our line crews, everybody that's involved in these processes, take it very personal. They all live in the county. They all know they're out auditing our systems all the time. We bring in professionals to audit our system, but mistakes happen. And, this was one of those instances where we apologize and we want to make it right. We simply, if we could, we would write it all off. In this case, the best we can do is put you on a billing arrangement so we can get squared out on a timeline that fits your income.
Just want to make one quick comment before I go, because I have to leave for another thing. Thank you for that answer. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you guys feel the way you do. And I appreciate, like you said, spreading this out a little bit so we can pay it over time. And there was just one more comment I had, and that was about this phone scam that's going around. I was called yesterday by a man with a heavy accent, and he said that my electricity was going to be, he didn't say electricity, he said your utilities are going to be shut down. So he didn't identify himself as coming from PUD, but I noticed on your website you had mentioned that there was something like that happening. So I just wanted to bring that up again so that you know that they're still out there preying on people. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And again, Sarah, the payments are no interest.
Nope, if anyone wants a payment arrangement, they just need to call the office and we'll set it up and I'll check on yours.
And what about my,
you've already paid your annual payment. That's
I paid my annual payment and you just arbitrarily deducted that, which I highly resent.
You won't need to make another payment till you do your next annual payment, or which
this
will
will-
be higher, or you can make.
I would prefer, if I'm going to be required to pay this, I would prefer the credit to go to my account and this $300 to be set up on a payment basis.
Okay, if you want to call me, and then I can set that up for you, you can how much you want. I'll be saying that what your arrangement is. So, all right, give me a call, please.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you for taking time out, and the flip side of the coin, once in a while we get the meter that goes the other way, and the state says you're going to pay these people back too for a number of
And the
years.
people that have moved out and moved on, they're scot-free, is that
Yeah,
my
the state says that we're only responsible for the people that are at that meter. We're not responsible to try to locate.
That's totally unfair.
I know.
It really doesn't state that in the law.
They've been pretty clear with us, and this is, unfortunately, this happens to other utilities, and it's a pretty common, and as these gals meet us with the state level with the other PUDs, it's unfortunate it happened, and the state auditor is pretty clear on what we're going to do and how we're going to do this. even though when you read the, and I was on the phone with Jim, you know, he said to read the RCW. I said, it's very confusing, and I understand. Every time I read RCW, whether it's this or anything else, the shalls and the longs.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, and so, but the state auditors are very clear.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you. I do appreciate your taking the time to listen to our concerns. I'm not happy about the resolution, but I guess it is what it is. But again, thank you for your time.
No, but
Thank
thank you.
you.
We're told that you don't have the permission to, fix this. Who does?
We'll fix what?
Our, the mistakes that you got, that, PUD
You
made.
mean this back billing?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's where I'm catching is the auditors are forcing us to do it.
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal from the state auditors. April, am I right? Is that fair enough?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
state law.
State law. So it'd have to be changed to the state for us to abolish it. And it's not gonna be changed to the state anytime soon, so.
We, like Colin mentioned, we would love to make it all go away. And,
But it's not gonna
and
happen.
it's
So anyway, then we'll just get out of here.
Nice, you guys did a nice job of presenting. Really did.
you did a great job. Yeah. Dorothy, I'll find the next first prize, but you've done a pretty good job.
Okay.
Sure. Sure.
Action items?
Yeah, that's right. I got one question here. I got a question on this subject. So there's multiple meters there?
There were 33.
33 meters that were, 240, should have been 208.
Yeah.
Is that right?
They were all in the same bay,
Just,
same
okay,
apartment.
so, okay, I missed on that, so 33 individual meters had to be changed out.
Mhm.
Thanks.
So what's the total amount that you're collecting from the 33 meters?
And
It ranged from $10 to 600, or only about 5 or 6.
How many units are up there?
It was all of them.
All of them. And then, do they have 2 meters, one for the storage?
The storage units are separate, yeah.
Okay, and were those good?
Mhm.
Those were,
Some of these were storage units.
okay,
Yeah, and so those were pretty small.
Yeah.
Adjustments, so.
okay.